You're watching a Love Jack video, where I show you how to create, share, and connect through art. This is Make Art to Mail. With just a few supplies and some time to sit and connect, I will show you how to create a handmade card that is sure to put a smile on someone's face. We believe that art has the power to make you happy, so let's make some today and mail some happiness to a friend. This month's creative challenge is flowers, and I was inspired to try carving a stamp to make a repeating pattern. But since I'm committed to using a minimum amount of supplies for this video series, instead of buy a whole carving kit, I decided to use a kitchen sponge. I hope you have one lying around and can make this card today. For this card, you'll need cardstock, an envelope, a kitchen sponge, paint, we're going with green and pink, scissors, Sharpie, and a paintbrush. Okay, so as I said for this card, what I really wanted to do was carve out a stamp, but I didn't want to go and buy a whole stamp set because it's kind of expensive, and the point of this whole series is to make some cards with just a few supplies. So I am using a good old kitchen sponge. I'm gonna use this side of it, and to be honest, if I was you and going out and buying one, if you don't have one at home, I wouldn't go this fancy one with a green and yellow. I would just go a generic yellow one. But this is the one that was in my cabinet, so this is the one I'm gonna use. We are gonna go tulip, so I'm gonna draw a picture of a tulip on top. You ready? You wanna kind of make it a little bit bigger or wider than the actual stamp will be, because when you cut it out, it will be smaller. So keep that in mind, and you could always trim it, but you can't add to it. I'm gonna give it one leaf. Fun, right? Okay. So basically, I just made a basic U and then a W inside it. You see that little W? It's a W and then a big U. And then I just went down and kind of drew a leaf shape there. If you wanted to just keep it plain, just with a stem, you could do that as well. Now, cut it out. Okay, pretty cute, right? So before I try it out on the actual card, I'm gonna grab a piece of scrap paper and test it out there first. I decided to go with pink for the flower and then green for the stem. So I'm just taking the paint and putting it on there. Do you guys have a favorite flower? My favorite flower is a Gerber daisy, but I do love a tulip. I also like the simple shapes of a tulip when you make it into like an icon or a drawing. Just press on it a little bit, test it out, see how it looks. Cute! I think it's pretty fun. Let's see, I might trim it a little here because it kind of looks a little boxy to me. It's like I'm pruning my flower. Cute, better. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna just apply some more. Should really clean off this brush completely, but instead I'm just gonna dab it. Apply some more paint. The other thing you could do is just have two paintbrushes, so one's for the green and one's for the pink, but I'm just gonna dab, 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 and then apply a lot of this. So for the card, I'm going to start in the middle and do one there. Cute. I think that's pretty fun, right? So I don't mess up my table, I'm gonna put this little mat down because I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna just take it and then do like this. I want to make it look like it keeps going across the card. So I think that's pretty fun. What do you guys think? A simple way to make a fun design? I'm going to try out one more thing. And again, this is why I like to experiment. So this is one example of me trying it out, seeing if I like it. I think it looks pretty cool, but now I'm going to try something else since I have everything out here. So for this time, I'm going to start up here, put it a little off the thing. And then I'm gonna go upside down with it. There we go, and still hands down my favorite part about this is that texture that the sponge created. And I would have never known that if I didn't use a sponge and if I just went to the store and made my own stamp. So I like this. I think another thing to be fun to play around with size, so to try to do a big one and a little one, or to do it with or without that leaf. But I like it. The other thing that might be fun is once it's dry to kind of go back over it and trace it to give it an outline. So we'll see if I decide to do that. But right now, I really love that textured pattern inside the flower. So for the envelope, I'm going to just do one flower, kind of left justified a little bit. And then I could put my friend's name right next to that, and I'd probably put my name on the back for this card. Another thing I like about the sponge is you could kind of put it down and it kind of gets stuck there. It doesn't move around too much, so then you could slowly pat on it. Pretty cute. This video is dedicated to Elise Joy. Last year for her 100-day project, she did something called 100 Days of Plants on Fabric. It is very inspiring to watch her experiment with creating. If you liked this card, go over and check out her hashtag to see many more ideas for creativity inspired by plants. While you're there, follow her on Instagram. Her feed is so positive and she really gets the most out of life. Elise is also the woman behind the Get to Work book, and if you've been watching my Plan Your Creative Time series, you know how much I love that planner. Thank you, Elise, for sharing your creativity with all of us and helping me get the work done with your motivational planner. And thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please tell your friends about it. Also, as a special thank you, we created a discount code over at lovejack.com. If you use the code YouTube, you'll receive an additional 10% off of any purchase above $30. Plus, we still have a handful left of our discounted discontinued cards that the code will also work on. So, we hope you go over there and check out our cards. Thank you so much for all your support, for watching these videos, and I hope you have a wonderful week. See you next time.